Good evening, everyone. My name is Inko, and this is our English campaign. Of course, last episode when we left off, we were beginning to manage all of our armies, and we're sending the remainder of our Flanders Force, I suppose, Flanders Force 5, all the way down to Bordeaux to reform another army down there. And we've got, I forget what his name is actually. It's a Archibald Vaughan. I was going to say Eustace Vaughan, but it is indeed his brother Archibald. He's going to have to take care of Jacques de Bouillon any second here. But first, we need to decline this betrothal because Elusa Vaughan, I think, is like 20. Hubert Frampton, 50 years old. That is far too old. We want a strong, young, strong man to marry Elusa to. And where is she again? I forget. We got Mary Vaughan, who is still unmarried, and she's 40 years old. And then we have Elusa, who is 23. I'm sure we could get a suitable husband for her sometime. Alberico del Piero has basically seized our merchant in this salt pile here, but that's not too bad at all, because if I remember correctly, our acquisition mission for Domenico has expired because he has died outside of Rennes, so we can find a merchant somewhere. I'm sure we have one free. Oh shit. Bruges is still affected by a plague, and it's now killing several people, because before it wasn't really killing anyone, but now it is indeed killing lots of people. Look at that. We have 120,000 florins, and man, we can do a lot with that much money. It appears that our priest in Galway has died. We'll recruit another and disband one of these spearman units. I'll disband. Actually, you know what? We have this little tiny rebel army outside of Galway, so we can recruit a few more units to deal with them in an auto-resolve kind of situation. It appears that Alfred of Devon has come of age. And shit, man. Geoffrey of Ireland is now the Lord of, I believe it's Dijon. Nottingham has Barons' Stables. We'll build a shipwright, I suppose. Exeter, Council Chambers, and man, I really don't know what Exeter needs, but it needs a fairground, I would say, because I think it only has a market right now. So we want to be building larger markets. Paris now has ballista towers, and that's a bit of a waste. The reason we built those towers is so that it would prove to be a really hard-hitting defensive position if Scotland were to counterattack. But look at that, we destroyed Scotland before they were even able to use those towers. So I suppose we could build anything. We'll build a bit of irrigation, as we still have no population growth in Paris if our taxes are normal. There we go, that's all of our building. We've recruited a few units, Carnarvon, Visby, etc. But we also have a lot of priests. I thought we would have recruited a few merchants, but apparently not. So we'll recruit one in Rennes so we can deal in that salt when the time comes, and then we'll recruit one in, I would say, Haas. Never mind. We are at our agent limit for merchants, apparently, so I guess we'll have to just deal with what we have. Jasper the Unorthodox, our cardinal up in Lithuania, is now a cardinal. He was actually a bishop before, now he's a cardinal. I guess sending all these priests across the lands is working. We're gaining a lot of cardinals due to the mass conversions happening. Speaking of, we have a lot of agents ready to set sail yet again. We've got Odo Bray and about 10 other dudes ready to set sail. So they're going to head to first the Holy Land. We'll drop off a few priests there, and then we'll head up to Constantinople while we're at it. Speaking of Constantinople and the Byzantine Empire, it appears that the Byzantines are doing very well. They've vassalized Hungary, if I remember correctly. I can't quite remember. Here we go. Vassals. The Pope is apparently a vassal of the Byzantines, not Hungary. I was mistaken. That's a little weird. Do the Papal States start as a vassal to the Byzantines? Because somehow I missed that. But the point of it is, the Byzantines are doing very well. So I'm going to send my spy over into Anatolia. Perhaps we can get a clearer idea of where the Turks are standing. Their empire seems pretty fractured, and if Caesarea has fallen, then I guess the Turks have been pushed out of the Anatolian Peninsula. And they still hold on to Constantinople, though, unfortunately. Or Istanbul, in their tongue, I guess. Okay, what else have we got going on?
Sire.
All of our armies are on their way. We've got What's-His-Nuts set up to deal with Jacques de Bouillon.
Are you joking?
And we've managed our agents in Iberia. Man, the agents are getting out of control. I've got so many. I've got Herbert Lazouche heading towards Oran. I've got my agents heading towards the Middle East. And some shit going on in Visby, perhaps? I don't know. I'm starting to recruit some cavalry and the like to build an army for our eventual invasion of Norway and Denmark, I suppose. I'm not sure. Cagliari is still held by rebels. Well, it's not in our line of sight, so it could be held by Genoa. I would assume Genoa has captured Cagliari. But you know what? There's not a lot to do this turn. So I guess we'll just end it. Actually, you know what? Let's attack Jacques de Bouillon, and then we will end the turn here. I'm trying to increase the pace of the series. It's just a matter of getting in the swing of things, and man, Jacques de Bouillon still has a massive amount of Crusader units. But you know what? I'll see you guys on the battlefield.
Muster your courage, men! We march into battle!
Alright, here we go, guys. I've got my crossbows at the core of my army, and I've got my spearmen on the flanks here with a core of light men-at-arms here. What I'm hoping is that the cavalry is going to charge for my crossbows, and I can absorb the charge with my light men-at-arms, and then my spearmen can just wing in and capture them like that. I don't know. I'm just trying out different tactics. I've also got a bit of an oblique flank on the left, as I've only got my feudal foot knights and the supporting light men-at-arms on the right. My trebuchets, though, are going to open fire pretty quickly here. I've also got my longbows, well, not my longbows, but my archers behind my infantry lines. But basically, when the enemy gets close to my lines, my crossbows will retreat and my light men-at-arms will step forward. I didn't want to put my spearmen into that role because I think the Scots, well, what remains of the Scots, actually have the cavalry advantage in this battle. They've got a few Crusader sergeant knights, what have you, and a few mounted sergeants or something to that effect. So if I were to put my spears in the center, I would be easily outflanked. But I'm trying to goad the rebels into an attack with my trebuchet now, which I will ignite the ammunition for, get a better idea of what's going on. They don't seem to be... Okay, here we go. They are now advancing. I'm pretty sure my feudal knights can handle these mounted sergeants in a pitched battle such as this. Oh my god. We're missing a texture or something. We've got a weird bug, and we are now being attacked by silver men. They look like statues. Very terrifying. My crossbows apparently are out of range. My archers likewise, unfortunately. Well, here we go. We've got some mercenary crossbows of their very own stepping forward, and my trebuchets are going to fire at them as they are at the core of the army. And the infantry will be stomping over them pretty soon. The enemy infantry, that is. They'll just walk right past them. But here we go. All of my men are now firing and opening fire at these crossbows, I would assume. My very own mercenary crossbows are doing their very best to roast these guys. Damn, there we go. Now we're getting the missile storm going. Some Irish kerns are stepping forward. I'm going to get my crossbows to take care of them. Their javelins will tear apart our men at close range. I'm going to get Vaughn and his companion on the left flank to just move into position to counter these cavalry militia and the like. See, here we go. We're just ripping apart these kerns as they charge into javelin range, and now we're just dealing with them. No problem. I'm not sure where to target my trebuchet now. The enemies are danger close, so I'm just going to stop attacking. But now I have to assign some charges for my knights. Here we go. My crossbows are going to have to step back, and my light men-at-arms are going to have to move forward. Here we go. I'm going to get my feudal foot knights to move in. I guess my crossbows were not nearly quick enough, as they've just been charged quite mercilessly by this fucking rebel infantry, well, cavalry, that is. But now I got to get my men on the flanks. Oh shit. Vaughn was just caught out on the left flank because I wasn't paying attention. My archers don't really have any targets, so I'm going to designate a few. But it looks like I'm winning on the right flank as per cavalry charges. I just need to designate a charge for my light men-at-arms here. Okay, my tactic in the middle seems to have worked, but we're now getting surrounded. We just need to get some hammer and anvil situations going on here. Okay, my light men-at-arms are ready to move. I've got my feudal foot knights attacking. My crossbows, not sure who they're attacking. They need to stop firing. But my light men-at-arms are going to tie up their merchant cavalry militia, and we should be able to finish them quite easily. Okay, on the right flank, we're now being charged by some Crusader sergeants, so we just need to outrun them and get on the move. I lost a lot of knights in those charges, though, and I'm losing quite a few more. I lost my train of thought there. I'm losing quite a few more on the left. My light men-at-arms are trying to do their best against these mounted units, but it's not going well for them. My archers are firing at those crossbows. I'm not going to charge those crossbows with my men. Oh shit, my trebuchet is just going fucking nuts. I'm going to instead charge through the crossbows and get a rear charge going on these infantry. Hopefully I can break some of them, but they're Crusaders, and Crusaders have a massive amount of morale, if I remember correctly, or perhaps they just have the same amount of morale as everyone else. I've got to kill Jacques before I carry on. My feudal knights are going to attempt to knock out those Crusader men, Crusader sergeants, that is. I'm losing a massive amount of men in this battle. Damn, I need my light men-at-arms to tie up those knights, but they just charged through the gap there. I'm gonna have to get my other group of cavalry, my right flank wing of cavalry, to get some more charges going on. My archers apparently are in combat. I don't know how that happened. Oh, because the Crusader Knights just charged right through the gap there. But I'm going to get my light men-at-arms to tackle those cavalrymen there. I'm just going to get... Oh my god, there's... a few units have reformed and fucked up my entire plans. Okay, we killed Jacques de Bouillon. But like I said, we are receiving a ton of casualties here. And this new fangled tactic of mine is not going entirely well. But boom, we got a mass rout. Immediately, those Crusaders just broke, I guess. And my feudal foot knights, my feudal knights that is, are taking quite a lot of casualties from these Frankish knights for some reason. It's not going well for them, apparently, and I'm probably going to lose this unit any day now. Once this battle is over, they're just going to disband, most likely. So my right wing of cavalry has just been sacked. They just got completely demolished, and you know what? I lost a lot of cavalry in that battle, actually. But anyway, I'm going to finish off these Crusader Knights, and then run down what I can, and I'll see you guys with the stats. There we go, a clear victory. I got a little overwhelmed in that battle, and we lost more men than I had been counting on, 639 men, but we recouped about 100 of those men. We healed the casualties, so it's not a big deal, I suppose, and we don't really have any wars to fight, so casualties aren't really a big deal right now. But what's his nuts? Archibald Vaughan is going to head back to Metz with this army and garrison that army just in case we get attacked by the Danes. The Danes are being very aggressive these days. They have just taken a lot of territory from the dying Holy Roman Empire. I can't blame them, but nevertheless, they are seemingly bloodthirsty. So I'm going to have to safeguard against them attacking me, if at all possible. Yeah, so you know what? Let's end the turn here. Okay, we're back in the winter of 1230. We have a new mission to assassinate the heretic, which is a new mission type for us. We have to kill Mokasokos, who is a heretic in Galicia, which is real great. We don't have any assassins really anywhere near there at the time, but we can recruit one in Clermont, I would say. There we go. The nearest assassin we have to Galicia is Herbert Lazouche, but he is one turn away from arriving in Iran, where all the Genoese cardinals are. We don't really have to kill them anymore. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 cardinals on the throne, well, in the College of Cardinals right now, meaning actually if Pope Honorius III dies, we have more votes than Portugal, and just as many votes as Genoa. So actually, you know what? We probably should kill a few cardinals just to be safe. Bruges still plaguing, unfortunately. And man, we have a lot of florins. And you know what? What I may do off camera is turn down the taxes of all of our cities to really increase the population growth throughout our kingdom. And that will put us ahead of the enemies, ahead of the competition, if we can grow our cities as large as possible, as quickly as possible, which has been my style of play from the get-go. Then we can build the meanest buildings in the most amount of places, if you know what I'm saying here. Franz Vaughan is now the Earl of Wessex, thus the Lord of London. Thomas Paget, the Duc de Lyon, and a few other things have happened. Nothing really worth noting. Carnarvon now has paved roads, which is wonderful. That means England has paved roads throughout the entire English Isle. Great Britain, I should say, has paved roads throughout. Ireland still not doing great. Galway specifically not doing great. Carnarvon is immediately building mines. Marseille has a tavern, and I suppose we'll have to build an abbey there. Speaking of taxes, there we go. Because if I crank down taxes, we're still making like 50,000 florins per turn, so, and we're not going to be able to spend that many florins. So I'm just going to decrease taxes, as I've said. Bern now has a bigger crop, and we'll build a bakehouse and some crops to ever increase that population growth. Antwerp, same thing. Well, we're converting Antwerp to a city I'd forgotten. So I might as well do nothing. Antwerp is fine where it is. Okay, we have a merchant in Rennes, and that's it. So I'm going to grab this merchant, who is Walter Payne. 3 points of skill, and he's going to trade this salt. Bam. That was easy peasy. Republic of Novgorod and Lithuania are now at a truce. Kingdom of Poland and the Cumans. Republic of Genoa and Venice are now at a truce as well. Let's see. Salzburg is still very much held by the Germans, but it appears that the Danes are well on their way to take it. I've got Fulk Kurthaus here, ready to do some damage. I'm not sure to whom or to what, but nevertheless, he is there. We've got Alan Moores heading to Norway. We're going to send Alan to scout Norway, and then Miles Plantagenet can scout the... oh, shit. This is still Norwegian. I assumed... Oh, no, this is Norway all the way, I guess. I thought Denmark would have owned all this territory by now, but apparently not. They decided to extend south. So we're going to check on the capitals of both these kingdoms. Norwegian capital, here we go, is Bergen. So we're going to send Alan Moores to the capital of Norway, and we'll find out what kind of armies they're packing. I suppose this guy can turn around and head back to, what is this? Zealand. He can return to Zealand and, I don't know, scope out the capital of Denmark, which is Roskilde, I think? Yes, no, it is no longer the capital, and I'm not sure it had ever been, but there we go. Hamburg is now the capital of Denmark, so we'll have to scout that place. Cologne is very weak. Man, there's tons of Danish armies just hiding in the bushes.
With discretion, sire.
Magdeburg, still very much Danish. I've got so many spies too, it's wonderful. We'll check out this territory, apparently held by the Byzantines. I think I had discovered... Oh, it's Vienna, of course. Vienna is held by the Byzantines. I think I discovered that last turn, but I can't say for certain. It looks like Venice and the Byzantines are at war, but I can't say. Yes, Venice and the Byzantines are very much at war, so I think the Venetians are going to make a bid for Vienna pretty shortly here with Captain Oreo. And we'll have to check on Hungary here. Hungary still holds on to Zagreb, but there's a Byzantine army attacking that territory, so I suppose the Byzantines are making a bid for all the Hungarian lands that can get their hands on Belgrade. If we had a diplomat in the Byzantine lands, I'm sure we could talk to them, but apparently we do not.
Your Majesty.
I think the closest diplomat we have is actually the one we have somewhere in Poland or something. I thought we had a diplomat up here, but I can't say for certain. Let's see. Diplomats. Here we go. We've got one in Lyon, Dalmatia.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, we actually do have a diplomat in Hungary, so we can talk to the Byzantines here, see if we can get some maps from them. I wonder if they'll go for that. Okay, they'll give us 80 florins for our maps, and I don't see why not. Okay, I guess they do not want to give us maps, which is quite alright. But we can still talk to, say, the Hungarians. Maybe they'll do it. No one wants to give us maps these days. And you know what? This is really... Oh shit, we've got a new rebel army right outside Marseille, between Toulouse and Marseille. We'll have to deal with him eventually. Speaking of armies, I've got a few units heading to Angers for retraining, Bordeaux for organization. But yeah, you know what? Let's end another turn here. Might as well. Ah, look at this. The Republic of Genoa wants to open trade with us, and we might as well open trade, and we'll get a few more florins per turn from this. But it's funny, because behind the scenes we'll still secretly murder their cardinals and basically destroy Genoa in the shadows. So this is really, really pleasing to me. It's very amusing. Well, guess what, everyone? I was totally fucking right. Oh shit, we have a great tournament, and we will accept 3,000 florins. Oh, I totally got sidetracked here, sorry about it, but King Herbert the Chivalrous has died, which means that, Duke Bardikar is now King Bartholomew the Conqueror, which is a fucking badass name. Also, Andrew Gushil has died in Exeter, which is a little upsetting, I suppose. Luckily for us, we have recruited another general. I don't know if he's administrative or not. Also, Rufus of York was born. And that's about it. Let's see. George de Burgh is militarily minded, unfortunately. But we'll stick him in Exeter. Anyway, we might as well. A jihad has been called as well for Acre, which is held by... Or Acre, I suppose, has been held by the rebels for quite some time. So this should be a very easy jihad. I don't know why they call jihad on a rebel settlement. Also, our assets have been seized in Egypt, unfortunately. But I was going to say, something has happened. And it's not Mary Vaughan. That's not what I'm talking about here. Something has happened. I'm not sure if we'll be able to find it. Oh, there it is. Settlement besieged. Antwerp has been besieged by the Kingdom of Denmark. So the ever-expansionist Danes have made a massive misjudgment of us. Oh shit, there is a massive Danish army, and it's led by the Stig, and he's heading towards Metz, which is not good at all. We are actually quite weak in the northeast here. I thought we would have a little more time to rebuild our armies, but I guess not. Now we'll just have to recruit some massive militia armies to reinforce, whilst we bring some professional reinforcements from our southern holdings. Yeah, this is not great at all. We can recruit another general in Lyon as well, some light men-at-arms, some feudal knights, there we go. Marseille will do the same, we'll recruit some militia. Bordeaux, of course, we'll have to recruit as many professional units as we can. There we go. Angers, likewise, can retrain and recruit absolutely nothing, apparently. There we go. Alright, I guess I was really hoping for some peace, but it appears that we're going to be at war with the Danes for quite some time now. We can take, I'm not sure how to pronounce this place, Groningen, but we can take that, and Cologne, and maybe even the Danish capital of Hamburg. I'm not sure how much I want to push into Danish territory, because I do really want some peace, so we can get flying through the turns here, but I guess Denmark does not want to play game with us. They do not want to play nice. London has built a printing press and will build an abbey in that place. Actually, let's build a naval academy, which will recruit some awesome fleets for us. Rennes has an armorer, and we can recruit our militiamen there. And that's about it. That's all we're going to build in Rennes. Toulouse, unfortunately, has a lot of buildings to build. For example, a town hall and a brothel. Dijon is building mines and farms. Reims, likewise, building farms, but we can recruit some militiamen there. Ta-da, well done. We've got a assassin in Clermont who will have to head to Galicia to try to murder that heretic. I assume we're going to get there. And, oh shit. The following factions are now at war with each other. England and Denmark. The following factions have broken their alliances. England and Portugal. I don't know how that's happened. Apparently the Portuguese no longer want an alliance with us, which is kind of weird because I certainly did not break that truce. I guess Aragon and Denmark are so-so with us. Also, I've noticed that Cagliari, as I was curious about earlier, is still held by rebels. So if we could build an army in the south, we can march and take that place, no fucking problem. But we just have to build the army, which is the issue. Speaking of armies, we can recruit a few more units in Bern as well. There we go. Yeah, we're going to have to deal with Stig pretty quickly here. I would like to send Archibald Vaughan to the north to deal with the attack on Antwerp, but unfortunately we have to move to reinforce Metz before that happens. But what we have to do in Metz is merge some of our units here. While we have the option, we can retrain this feudal foot knight apparently. I don't know what we're retraining for. Is it armor perhaps? I'm not sure. Let's see. We'll retrain. Oh, it is. Our light men-at-arms took the most amount of casualties. Actually, that's what it was I was looking to do. So we are now short a few units in Metz. We have enough archers. We just need some infantry, and unfortunately we don't have any available in Metz right now, and we also need feudal knights because every single one of our units of feudal knights apparently disbanded. They just disappeared, which is no good. We can recruit another general, though, so we will do that. So right now in Metz we have... Oh, shit, I'm a really fucking dumb idiot. All of my feudal knights were, in fact, outside of the city, waiting to come in, and there we go. Now they're back in the city where they belong. I need to retrain... what was it? I thought it was a unit of light men-at-arms. There we go. But yes, we're still severely lacking in cavalry in Metz. Antwerp, very weak. We don't have any reinforcements for that place, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to send what I do have in Bruges, the plague-ridden city of Bruges. Reims is recruiting some units. Bruges will have to do the same. There we are. Paris, of course, recruiting a bunch, so we can send our units forwards to Reims to reinforce, while the units that were there can march towards Antwerp. Unfortunately, they don't have enough movement points, just so we have some reinforcements to hold on to that territory while we're able. There we go. 4 units in France. Now, Antwerp has some units. Caen, of course, still requires some units. Okay, I've recruited a shit ton of stuff now. We just need to build a army in Nottingham as well. An army in Nottingham to sail south and deal death and destruction. Samuel Russell and Eustace Vaughan can, of course, lead an army from England, and we can sail to the heart of Denmark, apparently, perhaps, and crush them from the rear, because I don't think they have much strength between us and Hamburg. Let's see. Well, they have an army in Hamburg itself. They've got Captain Holger here with a lot of sweet fucking units. These guys look badass as fuck. I suppose these are our light men-at-arms, the equivalent. They've got a lot of merchant cavalry, which is a little worrying. Frankfurt, of course, a bastion of Genoese strength, still held by the Genoese quite heartily. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. I'm losing track of my mind here. I'm kind of wondering if we should vassalize either the Holy Romans or the Genoese, but it's hard to say. But you know what? I might just end the video here. I would like to send these units back to the front lines, actually. We might as well. We don't have any militarily minded generals in the wings right now. Duke Alfred, though, is going to head to Rennes. But you know what, everyone? Like I said, I'm going to end the video. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time.